What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be checking out a title called Plague Lords. Plague Lords is a game that we had an opportunity about a year and a half ago to take a look at. And the demo had really good assets and art, but unfortunately I didn't come away actually liking the demo. This time around, they have a playtest available for collecting feedback that's going to be open till the end of the weekend. And having played through the first big chunk of it, I actually think this is a way better demo. Like, this is what I was expecting last time. There's still some craggy edges that you can bump your elbows on, and we'll talk about those at the end of the video. But for right now, Plague Lords is a medieval army building strategy game with RPG elements where you are in the Black Death. So the Black Plague is moving around killing everybody in Europe, but the difference is in this game it turns them into zombies once they get to the end. And so it's effectively a very weird little zombie survival game about fighting the endless undead with hordes of armies and loads of catapults and things of that nature. You can build bases, you can gather resources. Definitely some survival influences in there as well. We're going to dive on in for about 30 minutes and see if it's something you wanted to play. Link is down below in the description. You can check that out there. On top of that, you can also take a look at my Discord and my Twitch stream, just in case you wanted to hang out live. But let's go ahead and start the game off. (1351) in Northern Europe, the 5th year since the beginning of the Black Death Plague. Conrad, my friend, you claimed you would gather a dozen of your best soldiers. That's right. Then please, gentlemen, tell me what's wrong with this scene. I see 2 formidable thugs that were hired by my family that have been torn apart. These men cost us a fortune and they're dying before they even get started. What did you find? The forces were clearly unequal. It looks like Stutter, Bruno, and Curly were defending themselves. Not many people would believe that. The attackers have no weapons. It looks like the deserters robbed the locals and then slaughtered anybody who resisted. Hell, Lord knows our mission couldn't have started out any worse. There are traces of a third. If Bruno made it out, it's not going to be hard to track him down. We could have handled this ourselves. You should have stayed with the main unit. No way. I want to see who's trying to interfere with me. Plague damn 'em. Let's go. Alright, so this is the game right here. The game actually has a really good art style. All of the art in this game was done by one of the major concept artists for Warhammer 40k, for, I think, Pathfinder. I was going through his art station looking for things that I could use for thumbnails for this game because I got a link that ran me on over there. And this art was in there along with a bunch of stuff for like Battlefleet Gothic and a bunch of other things. So the artist on this game is like a hitter. Like, he's somebody that's actually up there with some of the major tabletop companies. But this is my soldiers. These are my units right here. They've all got portraits on this side. They've all got individual stats. They've all got individual perks. They've all got individual meters that need to be filled up, which is where the survival elements come on in. They've got equipment. So, for example, I can give this guy a shield, and you'll see this little guy over here, which is him, swaps over into having a shield. So each of these little animated guys right here actually changes their gear whenever you swap them into gambesons or plate mail or sellets or whatever it is you decide to throw on them. Our inventory's over here on the right, but for now, we need to go southeast of these remains to see what we can find. The game is turn-based. It's kind of an odd-feeling game with that. Oh, there's more bodies right there. Maybe I'll go check those out. And then we move around the game world. We're going to pass our turn to get our AP back. Is this the other field right here? There's more bodies. What a massacre. But it's only locals this time. First attack must have been a surprise, but this time our guy was ready for the encounter. He better be alive. I need to know what the hell happened here. The farm must be nearby. It looks like the tracks led over here. He could be hurt. We need to find him as soon as possible. Well, or at least what's left of him. Alright. So to the southeast, it looks like we need to go investigate a farm, but we did get a new button right here that allows us to loot this area, and it looks like we got a shirt and some rope. Alright. Not very helpful. Yeah, it's not a very good vest, so we'll probably just throw it out right now because there's nothing I can do with it at the moment. The game does have like a small inventory up until you have like full armies. So like these guys right here, we only have 4 guys, but it maxes out at like 10 or 12 guys, I think. Yeah, 12 guys. And then you can have multiple squads of 12 guys that are all going to be fighting against the undead once we get to the point where we're building palisades and castles and, you know, trebuchets and things like that to fight them off. We need to go to the southeast, so let's go ahead and chug in that direction. But we need to do a little bit of meter mating over here too. And so we'll go ahead and throw some food at everybody that's hungry and thirsty. Hunger and thirst in this game, they make your HP and your energy regenerate turn by turn. The last time we played through this game, I don't think they actively did that, although I might be wrong. All I remember is last time I played this game, it was like impossible to keep everybody's meters filled up, but also there was like no consequences for the meters running out really, other than like you moved slower on the map. And so definitely things are a little bit clearer and a little bit better delineated in this current build. And we've got a farm. It's quiet. I hope that Bruno's finished off those bastards. I don't want any surprises. This is the best hideout we can find. We got to search the place, but let's not make too much noise. Maybe we should wait for our main unit? Who knows what's going on here? He may not live to see him, and we're too few to lose men like this. Okay. It's worth searching the buildings. The farm seems abandoned, which means anything could be lurking in these nooks and crannies. All right, well, we've got one building right there, but the rest are kind of like out in the woods, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to see what we've got going on. I suppose I'll search this building, and so it's going to take us 3 turns to search the building. So let's pass 3 turns, boop, boop, boop. And there it is. It looks like we found a water bucket and we found some cloth. We can loot that stuff from this little menu right here, which will just, right-click and drop it into our inventory. Extra water bucket will probably be helpful. Maybe we'll consider moving over to that building right there as well. And maybe we'll search this one. 3 turns till we're done searching this building. I'm here. Damn, I thought I was seeing things. Finally, he seems alive. Let's get him up. Why the hell did you start that massacre? What on earth is going on? Devil knows what's going on. It's like the bastards were waiting for us in the dark. Stutter shouted at someone, and they just rushed in like crazy. By the time we grabbed our swords, there was a few of them hanging on each of us. They didn't say a word. They just growled and bit like beasts. I've heard the plague corrodes the brain, so I'm sure Bone Crusher would have figured it out. One didn't need a healer to tell they were plague-ridden. Sounds like a good enough reason to attack people. Collect anything that might be useful. It looks like the owner won't be needing it anymore. Should I fight like this? Against rats, maybe. I need a weapon. Alright, so we got Bruno. He's been added on into our army now, although he's going to need equipment. I'll give him a sword real fast, which gives him 30 attack power. That's better. One of the creatures followed me all the way to the farm. It's probably still out there somewhere. We don't know how many of them are still lurking around, so let's stay low. Scouts, take a look around. I wouldn't wait for him to grab one of us by the throat. Yeah, agreed. Let's not take any chances. Keep your arrows knocked. I want the loot that was in here, though. So we've got like an axe. We've got an empty jug. I'll probably just take the axe and not the jug. I'll probably just leave the jug there. Usually on this starting farm, there's a well around, but with the trees in the way, I can't really see. One thing I would recommend adding is dithering when you move into the confines of a compound. All these trees should go slightly translucent so that the player can see the game grid, basically, and know what they want to do. Let's move around, and we'll check the perimeter real fast for anything that might be around here, because they said there might be still one around. I don't know exactly what direction we're looking in. Does it say? Hey, there's our guy. He finally spawned in the morning. There's the bastard. He's barely moving, but it might be a trick. How did he survive with so many wounds? We need to finish him off quickly before he calls for help. Alright, so we can fire arrows at him. So let's give him a volley real quick. That won't be the last one. The rest of the gang is roaming around, and who knows how many of them are out there. Don't make the same old mistakes. Let's get ready. Stay together and don't hesitate. We already lost 2. We're ready. Just give the signal. Can I loot the dead guy over here? I feel passionately about looting. Did they have anything good? Some cloth and a rock. Okay, we'll throw out the rock because I don't think we're really going to need that. We need to track down some food pretty soon, though. And this location did not have... How many uses do I get out of a bucket of water? Enough. Let's go ahead and get everybody's water top back up. There we go. Everybody's had their water, but we need to find a well before too long. Tracks lead further northwest of the abandoned farmhouse. It's worth at least trying to figure out the extent of the danger that we're facing. And everybody's getting kind of hungry too, so we should probably go do that. On the plus side, there's like berry bushes or some kind of like orchard or something over here. I believe I found it after a little bit of wandering around. This is northwest, so this has got to be our spot. Let's check this caravan for anything that might be good. It looks like we got some armors and things inside of there, like leather vests. What's he currently wearing? He's got busted chainmail. All right. What is that? Just like a normal shirt? Probably not going to be that helpful. We'll go ahead and throw it out real fast so that we're not carrying it around with us. All right, it's a little bit dark, but let's get into here. Be quiet. The inn and not a soul? This sure looks like an ambush. I can feel them watching us. Let's go in, but you got to be prepared for anything. All right, let's go inside. So it looks like we can inspect the location, or we can start an adventure. Let's do the adventure. The dim room looks deserted. The tables, which have been cleared by an eager hostess, were littered with rotten, dirty dishes, and the fire was long gone. The stairs led up to the second floor, where there was only a couple of rooms for those who could afford to sleep in something other than the stable or under a cart. Let's go large unit and cover ourselves with shields and storm the room one by one. The skilled warriors quickly huddled in front of the doors, covered by their shields, while archers stand at the edges ready. Crossbows click as bolts lodge in limbs, and in complete silence, it was the only signal to attack. Several doors shattered at once, and after a brief pause, long enough to make sure there was an enemy behind the doors, Conrad ordered the attack. Bows and crossbows fire simultaneously at the doors, and bodies collapse to the floor at once. The attack begins. The infected rush in from all sides. So this is what battle looks like, actually. When you go into a fight, everybody gets one action. They all have little abilities and things that they'll accumulate as the game goes along. He's got one right here that allows us to attack 3 times, so let's give that a go. There you go. 3 attacks have been leveled. 1 zombie went down. My archer's all ready to go. Does that guy have a sword? All right, that guy's got a sword. Let's get that zombie. Good, that zombie's now down. We'll soften this one up. 18 damage is not very much, though. Hit him with a bow. There we go. That did some damage. And the final zombie goes down. We let off a battle cry cheer. They came at us like crazy. Is anybody hurt? Nothing serious. Scratches. No armor, not even knives. They fight with claws and teeth like wild beasts. There's a lot more traces outside, which means the main crowd isn't far. If they fight with claws and teeth like these, we'll take them down quickly. Don't let them touch you. You'll get the disease. Come on. Let's go finish off the rest of them. Okay, let's search the inn first because we're low on food. So 3 turns will get us there. And hopefully we find something edible. We got a water skin and some more cloth. So nothing you can actually eat. But I'll take the water skin, I guess. I don't really want the rock, but I guess a rock it is. Is this place over here got anything good for us? We got a little bit of wheat, and we can search it further for 1 turn. Let's go ahead and search it real fast. We found more water and a knife. I'll take the water, but I don't care about the knife. Was hoping we would dig up some food inside of there, but unfortunately we weren't that lucky. I might be able to go get some fruit off the trees with the knife, maybe? There's some fruit over here that maybe we can go gather. Maybe I'll equip somebody with a knife and see if it works, because hunger meters are looking awfully low right now. They're looking a little bit rough. I do have a little bit of water, though, so at least if we don't have food, we can keep everybody watered properly. No well over here by this place either, which is a little bit unfortunate. We got a water jug with 3 uses on it. All right, water everybody up. There we go. He's got, like, no HP left either. I guess I'll give him my last piece of bread since he's the hungriest out of everybody. Everybody pretty hungry right now. Everybody's looking a little hungry, but, like, nobody's quite there yet. Looks like a location east of here. Okay. I'm going to go by the fruit trees on the way by and see if I can harvest these, maybe. Looks like we need tools. Is it a knife that'll do it? There we go. Gather food for a little bit. Alright, so we got food. Everybody should be feedable now. Why does he not have his armor on? There we go. Put that back over there. Did you break the knife on the way in? Either way, eat everything you can possibly eat. Everybody eat your fill. There we go. And then I'll grab a little bit for the road, too. Cool. And that just leaves him that needs to be fed. We'll go ahead and give him the knife again. And we'll move him down here, and we'll harvest off these bushes, too. These bushes weren't quite as fortuitous, but it should be enough to get people back on their feet and no longer despairing. I got, like, a couple of berries and things left for him. He's missing some HP. Just eat the herbs. There we go. I just need everybody to be regenerating. Let's go ahead and throw his gear back on real fast for whatever reason. When you give them like a work tool, honestly, I think the way it should work is just if you're on a node that can be harvested, they just automatically use the stuff straight from your inventory without having to equip it. But I'm guessing there's a tactical reason later on why you have to swap out the equipment. Like, you're probably going to have dedicated workers and dedicated fighters and stuff. Anything in the cart? Some things that look promising. What do you got for me? Got a lot of rocks in here right now, dude. Are we really going to need all these rocks? A spearhead, an ingot, a couple of knives whose durability are giving out on us. But we do have a little bit of food left, so I think we should be okay. Everybody's meters aren't looking too bad right now. Just feed them that. We can craft with this stuff later on, but for right now, that's not going to work. So we need to go east. This is probably the spot right here would be my guess. I see battlements, or at least palisades. That's a lot of zombies. Okay. We don't have any AP to fire on them. So unfortunately, combat is going to be joined. Someone out there. It's them. It's an attack. All right. Get them with arrows. We'll skirmish a little bit. And then maybe attack. There they are, to arms. All right, I think we got him. Oh, there's one left over there. Gotcha. It looks like they're all down. Couple dozen for our 2. I think that's a decent trade-off. Another dozen bastards. Conrad, your men are finally starting to make their money's worth. I don't think any of us dreamed of slaughtering a dozen peasants. And they won't be the last. Have you seen the tower nearby? Hope that's the end of it. I think this is just the beginning. Glad I'm not paying you for the heads. All right, let's check the battlefield for loot real quick. Is anybody, like, extra scuffed? I feel like our armor probably ate up the vast majority of the damage that we took right there. He got beat up a little bit, so hopefully he gets to regenerating. I need his health to come back. He's got like 65 of it. I can also tell him to rest in the tower. We got bread, we got meat, we got grain. Good stuff, dude. We got all the things that we need. This little icon right here means that you're going to take an energy penalty every time you move. And so that's how you know if you're overburdened. I don't know. Do I have anybody that's like extremely hungry? Just throw that on him. Everybody else is looking okay, and we finally got access to a well. So we'll go over to the well on this turn, and we'll have everybody drink from the well. That'll keep their energy levels topped up, and it refilled all of our various vessels that'll be carrying around water with us along the way. We can go into like an individual battle too. Like this guy's got a sturdy bag right here. If I give him a banner, I think it allows us to like form up for fights like the one that happened inside, but I forgot to do it before we came into this fight, so we were basically just slamming against each other, comparing our attack power and our defense power. I think that's how it works anyways. Like, this guy can be a sergeant, and so if I was okay with losing some inventory space, like we got rid of some nails, and like maybe we got rid of that knife right there. Maybe we get rid of that beam. I don't think we need the beam, really. We've got a lot of cloth, too. Let's put a backpack on him so that we can carry more stuff. And then we'll throw the war banner on him. And so now that we have a sergeant, I think we can actually fight the enemy like Darkest Dungeon style, where we line up and just like battle with each other. All right, next up, we got to investigate the tower. We can't get that easily. That's what they built it for. It's solid rock. What's all this fighting about? Shouting for the good league. We shouldn't have rushed. They seem to have managed on their own. What a palace. Well, we're too late for the fight, but we'll get the best bunks. Finally, I thought you'd gone with our stuff. I'll be in on the joke if it wasn't for the dubs and bodies behind us. Yeah, we didn't get too bored either. Where's Curly and Stutter? They were the first to run into local hospitality. Too bad, those were desperate guys. Guess we'll find them a prettier place. Yep, but not until we set up camp. The tower's locked, but there's no better place for defense. Tie a couple of logs together. Whoever fortified the door, it's not cut out for a ram. Okay, so we need to find trees around here. Luckily, there's a lumber cutting camp over here. We do have a crafting menu as well that's going to pop up, but we got units all over the place at the moment that need to merge with our main unit. So let's go ahead and fold them all in, and then we will take all their stuff as well. The good news is they brought like a metric ton of supplies with them, so we should have enough food and bread and stuff like that to survive for the foreseeable future. We should be in good shape. It looks like most of these guys are archers. He's a warrior. Can he have a shield? Give him a shield. Boost up his defense. He can't have a shield because of his skills. He's just a militiaman, so this guy's supposed to have a pike from when I was reading his character sheet the last time I came through here. His bow's looking a little bit busted, so let's swap out his bow, and we'll give him some arrows too so that he's ready to rock. His bow is looking a little mangy as well, so we'll throw that on in there. And then we'll swap in his arrows too. It's only got 3 durability. Oh, he can't use it properly. He's got 2 levels in Hunter, but he doesn't have 2 levels in Archer, maybe? Okay. Fair enough. As you can see, though, the UI, it likes to swap sides and do all kinds of crazy stuff on you. But here's our entire war party. We now have everybody gathered together, and we should be able to gather what we need from the field. So we needed logs. And it looks like we got a couple of spaces left. Luckily, there's a lumber camp up here. So let's interact with that real quick. What do we get from the lumber camp? We got beams and twigs and a bunch of other nonsense. I don't think we need the twigs or whatever. If we want to build the battering ram, I think we need logs. So we're going to have to find some trees to chop down. And like that, behold, there are trees. Trees everywhere. Let's equip somebody with an axe real quick so that we can chop down trees. I'm not going to go through everybody's character sheet to figure out who's like a day laborer or whatever. We'll just slap an axe on somebody. And just like that, the tree comes down, and they do actually disappear from the map, which is like a really nice detail. We have enough logs over here. I don't think we're going to need the twigs. But we put his shield and his armor and his sword back on. And I think our space should be taken care of. This inventory system's really hard to keep track of with just this sliver over here. I'd prefer to have like a bag down here that you would like click on. And then it just shows like the sum total square inventory that you have on you. But that should be enough logs to get done what it is we're trying to do here. Alright, so on this spot, we should be able to construct the ram. So let's start that up. Took us all night, but we got her done. Looks like it's still standing, but I'm not going to check. Alright, so with the ram here, we need to use the ram to get in now. Almost broke it. Hit it again. Almost. The light from the ruptured door fills the empty stone sack of 4 walls. The few loopholes above the narrow balustrades add little light, and the torches were long since extinguished. It looks as though the tower had been built to cover a way to the town and keep an eye on the roadside inn, but in this backwater, a couple of guards were probably enough for the job. Let your eyes get used to the dark. The only furniture in here is a table and a couple of chairs, enough to put down a drink brought from the inn and a game of dice. There wasn't much of an arsenal left to repel a siege. A pile of rusty arrows and bolts against the wall are in total disarray. The former warriors grimace at the scene. Their eyes slowly get used to the twilight. Just as light hits the dark corners of the tower, something moves in one of them. Experienced mercenaries don't care if it's a shadow, a rat, or a trap left by the enemy. Arrows were pointed at the spot, waiting for commands. Conrad is silent, and then something crawls slowly and reluctantly out of the shadows. Jingling chains, a jug and a couple of food wrappers lying next to the tattered figure, giving hope that it was not another insane infected. Conrad never gave that command. I can't see a thing. There's someone in here. Is she alive? Chained to the bone. Looks like they left her some water and bread. Hey, she's moving. She's alive. You gonna keep staring, or maybe you'll untie me at last? You two, take off her chains. Wait a minute, why is she locked up in the first place? Maybe they were in a hurry. But they had time to block the entrances, and they left the water. Something's not right here. Who are you, and why the hell are you being held here? Maybe you should untie me first and ask me later. No, don't touch her. Maybe the witch did it herself. Let's leave her. It's not very civil, but it makes sense. We'll put the tower back in order, and then we'll do an interrogation. Don't forget to take care of the fortifications around here. Who knows what to expect? Alright, so how are we looking on food and water meters? Food and water meters actually still looking pretty good right now as far as everything else is concerned. Let's strike out from the tower. And what can I build over here, just out of curiosity? So it looks like we can upgrade the tower if we had 2 more logs. So I need to go track down logs. They're big and round and wood. We got lots of wells, though, which is going to secure our water access, which is just, like, great. Let's move over here with these guys. We'll get in here. And Sideburns, you're back on choppinating duty. Alright, so there's our logs. We got enough of them. Put his equipment back on real quick, and then we'll go back and upgrade the tower. Alright, tower upgrade underway. Finally a use for some of this cloth. And there's loads of little animations right here, like little guys just like wiggling back and forth to work on the building. Despite a rough start for this game with its last demo, I really do have high hopes for it, because it's rare that we get something in a dark fantasy style that looks this appealing and looks this beautiful. Like, everything nowadays is some god-awful cozy game or card-based roguelite. Not bad, but 1 tower is not enough. We gotta be ready for everything. Somewhere to cut logs for the Palisade, and a small workshop would probably work. And a kitchen. I could use a roast. Okay, we'll set up the essentials for now, and then we'll figure out how to fill our belly. Get to work. Now we have access to storage. And so I can actually drop off a lot of this stuff that we're not actively using at the moment, so that we just have it inside of our storage stockpile. And so I can get rid of a lot of the repair kits. We can get rid of a lot of, like, the raw resources we've been picking up this entire time. And they'll just be in here for when we end up needing them later on. We can drop off the extra axe. Ropes, probably a good thing to throw in there too. And now we've unlocked the full UI, 30 minutes into the video. Now we can pave streets, we can build buildings. So for example, we can get a woodcutter's tent right here if we had a few more logs. I think that will allow us to do exactly what it says on the tin and gather more logs. We can build up the palisades, we can start to defend this place and actually make it into a livable space. I don't know if I should be taking the full battle force to do this. But for now, since we don't really have anybody working on anything, I'm going to take everybody with me because I'm paranoid and I need friendship. Heavily armed friendship, preferably. Alright, get up into the woods, and let's just make a big effort at chopping down trees for right now. Like all the wood supplies that we may need for the future. We have the inventory space, so we might as well do it. Alright, there's all of our logs ready to rock. His hunger and his thirst are kind of going crazy, so I should probably do something about that. I'll take everybody else back by the watering hole pretty soon, too. Although I do think having to individually feed each guy instead of them automatically eating, what I would do is I would actually get rid of all these food items, and I would do exactly what, you know, Mountain Blade does, or I would do exactly kind of what Battle Brothers does, where when you pick up these loots right here, they have uses on them. Those uses just get added to a general pool up on this side. And then everything just has like a value of like 30 hunger per 1 use, you know, and then you just have a number up here that ticks down as people auto-eat, and you have a little toggle where you can turn on and turn off auto-eating. It would definitely simplify that process. Like, the big problems that I see with the game here are almost universally UI-based. It's a game with a great art style that looks really fantastic, but at the end of the day, it's also a game that has just a really messy, sort of laggy, clunky UI that I think is going to be sort of a millstone around its neck. Once you get used to it, it's not that bad, but hey, we killed some zombies. That's good. Bye, zombies. Can I have your loots? What did you drop? Oh, beams! Nice. Apparently carpentry zombies. Good stuff. Let's build up a woodcutter's tent, I suppose. Although I'm going to get it a little bit closer to like a wood chopping location, I guess. Do I need to, though? Let's put it like right here so that we have space to grow. I don't want to like confine myself too much. We've been pulled into a battle at our job site, unfortunately, so we're just going to have to live with those consequences. Go to war, everybody! It's going to cycle in between all of my guys, so I don't really have to like pick and choose and select them for right now. Keep firing arrows at zombies. Good stuff. I don't know if these guys level up like organically. Like they just kind of get level. Do these guys not have armor on? I see a naked guy on the battlefield. Why do we have a naked guy on the battlefield? I forgot to put his armor and his shield and his weapon back on. That would explain it. Okay. get back to it. All right, let's resume our building here. We've still got progress that we got to make. Hopefully no more zombies show up. I'm going to have to, like, raid these fields in a minute, too, to grab all the food, because just feeding everybody pretty much took all of my food out of my inventory. So we now have a woodcutter's hut. We can click on that. It looks like we can turn logs into stakes. Looks like we can make sharpened poles. We can make hammers. We can make arrows, which is probably a useful thing to have. We can have portable barricades, shields. Okay, so we got a few things around here. What else does it want me to build? This guy's getting cranky about the fact that he doesn't have any water on him. He won't even let me walk him to the well. Alright. Oh, more zombies, dude? Alright, fire some arrows at him. There we go. We can do like a ranged engagement. It's not that big of a deal, but it looks like it's going to pull us into actual sergeant fighting. Alright, more zombies bite the dust. It's kind of cool how it slides the buildings away to make room for the actual combat itself. Everybody drink up right now. I think everybody's like thirsty as hell and their energy levels are suffering because of it. That's the blue bar that's next to their name. I can't but help but feel there's a little too much micro here, like a little too much granularity that could really use a few more conceptualized meters and things like that. I don't even know if I would have individual hunger bars and water bars. Just have water and food up here that you gather based on the amount of containers in your inventory, and then just have it trickle down with each step for each of these guys that's in here. You know, it just feels like they're getting a little too granular, like it's ambitious. I like what they've got going on here. I definitely want to play more of this. But that having been said, the granularity of some of the systems might be a little bit too much. So it looks like we can fix the Palisade over here. Yeah, let's fix up the Palisade while we're in the neighborhood. With the time we've had, nobody could have built a better one. Alright, well, there's our first little Palisade that we can defend. I'm going to have this arc down this way, though, and get around the remainder of my base. We're probably going to have to split these guys into, like, 2 different squads, too, like a work squad and, like, a fight squad, basically. End the turn real quick over here. Go out to the wheat field, and, like, one of you throw on a knife real quick and just gather what you can gather. We're under attack again. I'm so nude. Do I have 2 guys that are naked right now? Naked guys should not be fighting. Let's use the actual armed guys right now for this. Alright, another zombie down. And then I think we resume gathering until we have this field nice and empty. So it looks like we just got a bunch of rocks out of there. But we did get some wheat, so if we can make a kitchen or something, we might be able to do something good. You guys move over here, and what other buildings do we have available? Let's see how the Palisades connect. I got ideas here. Let's see if we can get a Palisade down on this side. Do like a Palisade right here. And see if it like auto connects or if it ends up looking wonky. Oh, I see how it works. You rotate it on here. Gotcha. Okay. Well then tear this down then. And then what we'll do is we'll rotate this guy like so, and then just like kind of see what happens. Yeah, that'll work. I need to go get some more logs from inside the house though. Was it beams that I needed for that? Palisades were just logs. Alright, I think I've used up all of my logs, but let's check the stockpile over here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to send some more people out lumberjacking before we can get this place fortified up real nice and tidy. So, like, if I go right here... There we go. That's looking alright. I don't like that little nook right there, but I guess it'll be okay. Maybe it'll work out. Oh, there's zombies in the field, and I didn't see them. Unfortunate. They're hiding amongst the wheatgrass. Definitely don't attack with my guys that don't have any weapons or armor. Get on in there with other stuff. There we go. Hopefully we can avoid letting them have a turn. No, I don't want you to attack. I want you to attack. Good stuff. Down goes another batch of zombies. I need to, like, pick this field clean, too, unfortunately. I've got one guy with a hammer in here, but I don't remember who it was. Give him a knife. And let's go over to this field right here, and let's just, like, gather whatever victuals we can get out of it. Yeah, not bad. Okay, so now we've got food supplies again. And we're not, well, we're just barely overburdened. If nothing else, that foraging right there got everybody fed for the day, so we should be pretty solid. But we need to gather more wood, I think. I don't think there's any real way around that, so we're going to have to deforest a little bit heavier so that I can get all these fences in. Alright, so we got more logs. Let's see if we can get these palisades up and running. So this one right here needs to be rebuilt. Now that we have logs, let's go to the lumber hut and see if we can make something a little bit better. So it looks like we can do crafting in here. We've got sharpened poles, we've got boards, tool repair kits. Quiver of arrows requires iron arrowheads, so we're going to need to track that down. We've got camping tents, which might be a decent thing to have. Let's make one of those. So now that we have a camping kit, can I just, like, deploy that? A few tents and a small campfire doesn't attract attention, and it's warmth for sleeping, dining, and rest. Yeah, build up a camp. There we go. Cool, man. We've got, like, a little tent city over here. I don't know what I can do with it. I assume that you put people to rest inside of here because there's a wait icon. And I remember when I did it last time, it put like a little green plus sign on all of them so that they were all like healing much quicker when you're like sleeping inside of a location that actually has beds. So that's good. What else can I make down here? Oh, there's zombies everywhere. That's fun. Let's get some steaks. And maybe a little bit more steaks. Yeah, the more wooden steaks I can put together, the better. Yeah, put some stakes along that side of the building so that it's defensible. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. We'll go up here and we'll do the same thing on this side, although it says there's no space. I'm wondering it's because these right here are like in the way. I don't know if it's going to let me break them down or not. There we go. Quivers are getting empty though. Everybody's running out of arrows, which is really, really unfortunate. I need to find some arrowheads before too long. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to manufacture more. Send everybody over to the well to get a drink real fast. There we go. And now that everybody's had their thirst taken care of, I can still harvest this field over on this side. But I don't know if it's a good idea. Search this location. Looks like we got some seeds, some water, and some cloth. I think I can sort of live with that. Let's gather from this field, too. Whatever we can take out of this place is probably going to be good. Alright, so let's head back. Can I build more stakes along the side of this thing? I want to, like, round this out. I can. Nice, dude. Yeah, let's round this thing out, dude. Let's get this place all nice and defended. I don't know exactly what they want me to do. It says they want me to build fortifications and a place to work with wood, but I did that. And so, I don't know specifically what it wants me to do out here. I do have a spearhead, so technically I could make a new spear. Oh, when you rest, it refills your hunger meter. So I don't know if they're just actively foraging or what they're doing, but I don't need to be eating and gathering all this food. Like, when you rest, you just automatically get food, which is kind of interesting. We got more pots of water and stuff right there, too. Let's end the turn, move up to here, and if I can fix this right here, I'm cool with it. Maybe that's what they want me to do, is they just want me to fix all the fences around the area. I'm guessing what may have happened is that I didn't build it in the spot specifically where it wanted me to build it. Like, it's probably supposed to be in one of these cells over here, maybe. And maybe that's what it's cranky about. I don't exactly know. This is kind of a weird situation to be in. However, I will say that it's coming together. Like, this is a much better demo, despite the fact that it's still kind of like, alright, so what do you want me to do next? Ah, more battle, unfortunately. Zombies flowing through from everywhere. Get that one. That guy doesn't really have anything to fight with. These guys have some arrows left. There we go. We'll finish the zombies off right there. I'm guessing they want me to, like, move this place and put it in, like, a different spot, but I don't know. Yeah, Yeah, much more interesting demo than the last one that lets you play around with some of the systems inside of the game. The main thing holding this game back is just a pure lack of abstraction. I think they're trying to make things much more granular than they actively need to be. There's also still a general lack of sort of like direction to it, just like there was last time, where it says that it wants a place to work with wood, but like I already built that and it didn't seem to make the game happy. And so like a little bit of vexation right there and just figuring out what the game actively wants. There you go. And so they wanted me to build specifically on this spot, but it didn't have like a bouncing arrow or anything. We managed to fix it at the end of the video. Still, the visual fidelity of the game is absolutely fantastic. It's a great looking title that I want to play more of, so I'm glad to see this improvement between here and the last time we played the game, because last time I played it, it was a flat out no from me because it was just rough, it was all over the place. This is a much better demo while still kind of buggy and still needing a lot of work. This is a much better job, in my opinion. My observations as a guy that looks at games and does like these little consultations or whatever is that get rid of the food and water system entirely, abstract it out to just a number up here that ticks downwards that keeps their meters full. So you pick up a cheese, it just automatically adds 5 to your food up here. And food goes down by 1 each time people need to eat, like at the beginning of the day. Same thing for water. You know, berries are like 3 food or whatever. Abstract that out. It's too granular. There's too many things to manage here, in between also having multiple parties that are all chopping trees, and some guys are manufacturing, and some guys are building, and some guys are fighting. The level of granularity is fine for the tactical part, having multiple parties and everything around, but I could quickly see this game becoming a nightmare when you have like 5 different parties that are all doing different tasks, and they all need to be fed, and they all need to be watered, each with like many mouse clicks going in between portraits and eating things. They all have their own individual inventory, you know what I mean? It's just too much. Some conceptualization could be had here. And then I found the UI to be a little bit clunky and laggy feeling while I was playing through the game. Like, the game still needs basically a big UI overhaul in the conceptualization and the simplification of some of the mechanics in order to get it like moving and maintaining its own momentum. And so those are my observations for right now, but I do have my eyebrow raised and I am interested in what's on offer here. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll see you later, folks. Today it was Plague Lords. Tomorrow it'll be something else. Bye.